Hello, my fans! For today's video, I'm about to reviewing the 2021 film that was released before Christmas, and it's one of the best installments, and it's one of my favorite movies in 2021, which is none other than Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home, man. Phew! Time flies, isn't it? That movie creates history. It truly does. Like, before I'm gonna rate this movie, I'm about to tell you the little story of how No Way Home was made. In the mid-credit scene of Far From Home, Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's identity by releasing the video on the Daily Bugle website that showed him moments before his death. Yikes! This revelation had a devastating impact on Peter's life as it puts his loved ones in danger and made it difficult for him to continue his superheroics. After that release in theaters, Sony and Marvel broke negotiations in half of 2019, and there was a lot of speculation about Tom Holland's future as Spider-Man. And in the end, a new deal was reached between Sony and Marvel, and he was able to continue playing Spider-Man in the MCU. Now, back in February 2021, we are waiting to what kind of title the Spider-Man 3 movie was made. And now, Sony releasing a new video which is titled Spider-Man No Way Home. Absolutely amazing, not gonna lie. I've never been so much hyped for the Spider-Man movie again since Far From Home and Into the Spider-Verse. After that title announcement, when the trailer will be dropped, and after that, many months of desperation of releasing the first trailer to come out until August 24th in the same year, we finally got it. We finally got the first teaser trailer for No Way Home, and man, it was a massive blast. You got nostalgia, tons of amazing action, visual effects, characters, and the multiverse coming into the big screen for the first time, and I've been super excited for this. And the hype boosted up again when we saw the Green Goblin's pumpkin bomb. It was Green Goblin for the 2002 universe, and then Doc Ock's tentacles from Spider-Man 2. Boy, I've been crying so much, seeing so much hype that I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the first trailer, and it was worth it. It was worth it. Everything that I've seen in this trailer, goddamn, it was truly worth it. You know what's better? This film got 355.5 million views in 24 hours. It beats Avengers Endgame's 289 million views. Shows some of the popularity and love for Spider-Man and the character. And you have to agree, everyone loves Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. You love Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. We all do. Not until No Way Home give that even more. And after so much hype in some of the trailers, after the theatrical release, it was a masterpiece. Nostalgia, epic adventure, action, story, everything putting into one amazing film. And you know what's the result? It's amazing. From years now, I don't understand the hate towards this movie nowadays. Yes, it's nostalgia. It's not nostalgia bait. This is a fan service movie that's done right. I can tell you that, guys. You have compelling story with a lot of nostalgic characters. Putting in the MCU, that's one of the best films in Phase 4 so far. So let's rate this movie.
It's the time.
So for Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm giving the action 4.5 stars. The action sequences were well choreographed, exciting, visually stunning, and they really captured the feeling of being a superhero. The movie also did a good job of balancing the action with the more emotional moments, so it never felt too overwhelming. The use of practical effects were really amazing. The variety action sequences were not too over the top, and you feel it very engaging, like the bridge fight between Tom Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. Spider-Man teaming up with Sandman take on against Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The combo fight between Tom Spidey and Green Goblin, boy, that was very brutal. And then, yes, the final fight where three versatile Spider-Man swinging together, curing all the villains. It makes the action feel more exciting. Not to mention the stakes felt real. You could feel the tension as the characters fought for their lives. It makes it even more engaging and exciting. It became very memorable, and it's not too over the top and not too boring. Comedy of the movie, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. The movie had a lot of serious moments, but it also had some funny ones. The comedy was never too over the top. It always felt natural, organic, and in character. Some of the things I liked about the comedy is the chemistry between the actors. had great chemistry. They played off each other very well. Also, the self-aware humor, not afraid to make fun of itself, and the timing felt well timed, never felt too forced or out of place. And lastly, the memes with it. Story of the movie, I'm giving it 4.5 stars. The story was well paced, exciting and emotional. It was a great culmination of the previous Spider-Man movies, and it also introduced some new and interesting elements. The things I like about the story of this movie is the multiverse concept. It was a really cool concept, and it was used in a really creative way. It allowed the movie to bring back some of the most iconic villains from the previous Spider-Man movies, and it also gave Peter Parker a chance to face his biggest challenge yet. Also, the emotional moments had some really emotional ones, and they really helped to ground the movie and make it feel more personal. And the fan service. It had a lot of fan service, but it never felt too over the top, and it was done right. The movie knew when to give the fans what they wanted, and it also knew when to focus on the story, and as a result, they handled Peter Parker's character arc very well. It's showing Peter Parker's growth as a character, and also gave him some really challenging choices to make in the multiverse concept. Suspense of the film, I'm giving it 4 stars. The movie did a good job of building suspense, and there were a lot of moments where I was on the edge of my seat, like the use of foreshadowing, the use of music, and the stakes felt very real, which is very effective and made the suspense even more intense. And also, Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe is insane and scarier, but you know what I mean? Green Goblin in this movie is much more menacing than he once was in 2002 with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. And also, the second act and the third act are quite really dark. Yikes. And pacing, I'm also giving it 4 stars. The movie was well paced, and it never felt like it was dragging or rushing. The movie was able to juggle a lot of different elements, including the action, the comedy, the story, the suspense, and the emotional moments. And it did it all without feeling overwhelming. The movie knew when to slow down and let the characters breathe. The movie also knew when to pick up the pace and deliver some excitement. There were also a lot of action sequences in the movie, and these sequences were well paced and exciting. And lastly, the movie never felt like it was dragging or rushing. It was able to juggle a lot of different elements, and it did it all without feeling too much forced. For casual fans in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm giving it S. For cinephiles who are diehard Spider-Man fans and MCU fans and Marvel fans, I'm giving it S. And critically, I'm giving it S. Spider-Man No Way Home is a phenomenal conclusion to the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy, and it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. It's a visually stunning, emotionally resonant, and action-packed film that delivers on all the fan service, while also telling a satisfying and original story. The film is a love letter to Spider-Man fans, with plenty of references to the character's long history in comics and movies. However, it also tells a fresh and original story that feels like a natural progression from the previous films. The film also features some of the best action sequences in the MCU, as well as some of the truly emotional moments. And overall, it is a must-see for any fan of superhero movies. And No Way Home is a triumph. It's a film that delivers all the fan service, while also telling a satisfying story, which is a top-notch one that does not deserve to be overrated. And in my opinion, No Way Home is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I'm giving it 10 over 10. No Way Home absolutely deserves a Sonic Frozen fan guaranteed.